grooves in the cylinder walls, and it just ate up the cylinder wall. Now we're gonna put the motor together. When I'm telling you I honed all day long on this motor, piece of rubber hose, the 202 valves will not fit in the stock pistons. Doing good. Why do I smell propane? Smooth. Thank you, Lord. It's coming together. Finally. Look at those valve pockets. Hey, welcome back to Fixing Things. Turn on some more lights in here. We're back on the 302 budget build motor. My last episodes, we had got it completely assembled, practically, except for the valve train. I do have the parts to now. Hopefully they're right. I haven't opened them up yet. To get that stuff installed. But we had to take the motor completely back apart. The motor, when it was rotating on the number one cylinder, was binding. And so what it was grooves in the cylinder walls on the number one cylinder. So the rings were stuck on that cylinder in the piston, and it just ate up the cylinder wall. So I was going to take it down to get it machined, and the price of machining isn't worth it. It used to be you could take a motor down and get a block machine for like $150. And that's bringing your new pistons in and getting them sized through the holes and everything else. Now they want like $400 something, and I'm just simply not going to do that on a budget build. It would no longer be a budget build if I'm spending $400 on machining for the motor. A budget build to me is not spending no more than like $1,500 total. I could have went and bought another motor that had like 67,000 miles for $400 and just put some of my new components on it, and we could have installed it into the Pinto. But we're going to put this motor together anyways, and I'll tell you what I did. And I was disgusted, and I didn't want to even film it. I just wanted to get the thing done. So I went out and bought all around through the Fredericksburg area all the hones I could get. And I can tell you, let me tell you something. O'Reilly's didn't have any cylinder hones. O'Reilly's is supposed to be one of the good parts shops. Advanced Auto Parts didn't carry them. I'm going to tell you who did carry honing stuff. Right? AutoZone. Thank you, AutoZone. I went around about 4 shops and bought all their honing things. And also I got a new hone from Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight and AutoZone is the only places that carried honing supplies. There you go. Now you want to know the truth. So what I did Sunday after church, it's Tuesday now. Yesterday I just rested. I went and helped my wife down to Steampunk Parlor. She was doing some decorating the bathrooms. And you can tell I'm under the weather. I'm not feeling good. And it's because of my heart. I'm just tired. Even after I wake up, as soon as I get up, start moving around, I feel tired. But we're going to do something today. So Sunday after church, I went out and bought all the hones in Fredericksburg and the Stafford County area. I went to every one of the stores and bought everything they had. And I used up 4 honings on the cylinders. 4. And I honed every cylinder out, and they look good. They look good. I spent all day Sunday after church honing the cylinders. And so now we're going to put the motor together. So the question is, now is the hole too big for the pistons? I don't know, and I don't care. The pistons are going back in the holes today. I'm sure the motor will run, but we took out a lot of metal out of it. There was a lot of metal that came out of the block. We cleaned the block out with brake clean and washed it out with water. And then we brought it back up in here and cleaned the cylinders out some more with some rags and some mineral spirits. And then I oiled it all down. All right, so here's cylinder number 1. And it has, when you rub your finger, you cannot feel that. The swirl marks are starting to go through that surface. Same thing here. You cannot feel the groove, and the swirl marks are starting to go over that impression. Same thing here on this one. And I got gear lube on these. So far better than what I had. When I'm telling you I honed all day long on this motor, I honed all day long on this motor. Even today, my shoulders are killing me from using the cylinder hones on the, like I said, I destroyed one cylinder hone. It just wore it out, and I used up 4 packs of honing the replacement hones. And I got 1 set of hones left, and half on the hone I used I bought from Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight saved the day. So today we're going to put this motor back together, but we're going to do it quick. I'm not going to do time lapse. We're just going to show you some key points, things that I think that you need to know, and get this thing back together and see if we can't get this. I'm not sure if I can get it in there because I want to take my time because I'm not feeling good. I can't push myself. I don't. The heart is working great. That feels better than it has been in a long time. But I'm still not getting blood flow to the rest of my body very good. My ticker. I got to keep my ticker ticking. So let's get back on this thing. Let's fix this thing. Let's put this thing together. Yeah. All right, so when I took the camshaft out, I put it back in its original box, and it still has all the grease still on it from, I made careful not to wipe the camshaft clean. So we're going to reinstall it. I take a long bolt so I can have leverage, and we thread that into the camshaft bolt thingy. And we're just going to reinstall it. There we go. All right, now we'll put the bearings and the rear oil seal back in, and drop the crank down in it. All right, so I got the rear main seal in. Got all the bearings in. Got them coated with another coat of driven. And we're going to put I'm going to show you how to do this, the bearings here very carefully. So I'm going to clean off the old grease in case any dust got tacked to it. There's a tang. On the last video I called it a tit, an impression. It's called all kinds of things. There's a groove on both the block and the bearing. Now the bearing that goes down in the block has a hole in the back of it and a groove. That goes down in the block, not on the cap. That's for the oil to pass through and lubricate the main bearings. Simply push it down, make sure it's flush with the block as best you can get it. Put some fresh assembly lube on it. Just a light little coat. Now we're ready to put the crank in. But I want to show you, we got this bearing, you notice, does not have a groove. And it also has a little tang. And it's got the rear seal, and the rear seal is like this. We're going to put a little bit of lubricant, not lubricant, a little bit of RTV right on the edge. It's made to compress into the slots and seal it, but for just a dab of RTV ain't going to hurt. Also going to put a little bit of oil on it also. I'm going to start with the rear main seal first. We're not going to torque it down. We're just going to get all the bolts started. Here on your bearing cap, you can see I got the bearing in there. She's already greased, lubed up. It's got an arrow. This is number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the arrow points forward. All right, we're supposed to be torquing the main caps to 60 to 75. We're going to do it in sequences. I'm going to go ahead and set it to about 30, and we'll go from there. Starting with the center one first. Take your dead blow. And that centers up your thrust bearing. Because once you got it torqued, there ain't no going back. Work your way from the center out. All right. Now we'll go up to 40. One complete revolution takes it up to 50. and 60 is within torque specs. We're going to do, I say what, 65 to 70. I think we'll shoot for 70. All right. The crankshaft is torqued. All right, now we're going to put some assembly lube on the journal so we can start installing the pistons. All right, when installing your pistons, you want to make sure that if you're using one of these types of ring compressors, you want your bands to be at the bottom, not at the top. This helps make it taper so it slides it down into the hole. Also, I put my bearings on first. I know a lot of guys don't do that. And what I do is I put a piece of rubber hose on, and I know a lot of guys don't do that, but these bolts are hardened and the crank surface is very delicate, and your threads will mar up your crankshaft journal. Also, you want to make sure this is the number one, even though I got a question mark on it. This little part right here, there's a little notch in it that goes to the front of the motor. Your number one cylinder and your number one crankshaft, connecting rod, is designed so where the front of the block is the furthest out. So this cylinder is in front of this cylinder. And there's a bevel on your connecting rod. And this side's got a machine surface so it goes up against the other connecting rod. So you want your notch towards the front. You want it up in the hole as square as possible. Snug that up. Take something nice and soft, like a hammer. Tap it in the hole. Now, those rubber hoses are now going to line you up around your crankshaft. So now you're lined up around the crankshaft. See the rubber hoses? So now that we know that the cylinder is lined up, you could actually just push it home. Then we can rotate the block over and put the main cap, put the connecting rod cap on. At this time, you do not want to rotate your crankshaft until you got that connecting rod cap on there. Get my Kleins. Kleins are the only tools that actually talk to you. Yep. Now it's time to put your rod cap on. And your rod cap with the bearings in it also has these little notches. The two notches go together on if you look down here, you can see the notch on one and the match notch up on that one. Also, you know, your bevel goes towards the connecting rod, the crankshaft, and the machine surface backs up against, so it goes like this. And we'll put some fresh. Assembly lube on it. And we're going to torque them as we go. Do the same thing to all of them. These don't get high torque like your. Now we're going to torque this to 25 foot-pounds. I got it already set on 25. On these small ones, you just kind of just rotate a little bit. Rotate a little bit. Rotate a little bit. Till you start feeling a little bit of snugness. Keep the same snugness going. Little bit by little bit. And double check. Now we do that all the way through to the rest of them. But what I want to do is, while I got the number one cylinder in here, I want to rotate it because this is the one that was binding up. Smooth as glass. All right, I'm going to line it up for number 5, and we'll do number 5. We'll do them all. I'll get back with you when I got them all in. I think somebody doesn't want this motor to be put together. On installing the number 5, I couldn't get it down in the hole. And there's a crack in the piston. Oh, gosh. So I can't install the number 5. I'm going to go ahead and install the rest of them, and I'll see if I can't find a replacement piston. Oh, gosh. If it's not one thing, it's another. I'm just not having a good time building this motor. All right, I went ahead and put the motor back in the bag. I put the number 5 piston in, and it went okay. But then I realized, my brother told me that the 202 valves will not fit in the stock pistons. Look at my sags under my eyes. I'm just making all kinds of mistakes. So I'll either have to grind the notches, which order one piston and grind all the notches. There's no use putting the motor together and get filings in the thing. So we'll take the pistons over to the bench and use a grinder and grind all the valves. Valve notches in the pistons. And then check the weight, make sure we didn't get them off, and buy one new piston, or one used good piston, or one set of pistons, or whatever, I'm not getting the block bored out. So my options are buy a whole set of pistons or buy one new pistons and notch all these. So the next time you'll see me, I'm not going to make this the end of the video. I'm going to have a decision on what we're going to do. Right now, I think I'm just going to go mow the grass and vegetate. I'll see you in a few. Hey, it's the next week, and I got news. I got news on the motor. So I have to do a shout out to Pool Guy 88. Pool Guy 88 got good ears, buddy. Good ears. He said it sounded like my motor was hitting the oil pan. And I even thought that at first, and I said, no, there's no way, because I made it, when I cut the oil pan, I cut it so it sloped. But it looks like one of the counterweights on the bottom of the crankshaft is larger than the other ones. And sure enough, it was hitting us. It was rubbing here and right there. So I'm going to take my body hammers, and we're going to concave this whole section down and make sure that doesn't rub no more. He had good ear. I even thought about it, you know, and thank you. Thank you, Pool Guy 888. But it still needed to be honed, and so it was like a blessing in disguise. So we got the block all honed up. We noticed last week that we had a cracked piston, and I got the cracked piston in the vise here. We're going to take the wrist pin out of it. I got a new piston coming in. It's supposed to be in today, but probably won't get it put on till tomorrow, the way it looks like, because it just left Richmond this morning, and it's supposed to go by either the UPS or the mail here in Stafford today. So it probably is going to get here tonight late, and then we'll put it in tomorrow. But that's not going to stop us from doing what we need to do. Being sick with the heart stuff has made me drowsy, not made me think with common sense. And 3 videos on putting this engine together is ridiculous. So what I've been doing is I went to Harbor Freight and I got me some of these little things, and got my little die grinder out of mothballs, and we've been putting the valve notches in. So what I did was I took a measurement here and here and drew the line on there. Got the center here, drew the line straight across, made that my center point, and then made the mark. And then we went straight down with the die grinder at the same angle this is. I also got a little scale coming. So the new piston is OEM that's coming, just like this one, but it may not be the exact same weight. And after we grind all the pistons down, we want to make sure that the motor is balanced. So we're going to balance all the rods and pistons, each one at a time. We'll write down the specs and get that going. But that seemed to work pretty good. Got to go a little bit more, but all I did was just like that, and just work my way down real slow. And got my 202. I should probably check it. But I'm pretty sure. So if I go here to the center, may go a little more. It's right at 2 now. So, but that seems to be working. I got a bunch of the disc from 30 to 60 to 80 grit. I think we'll have enough. It doesn't take the, so these are all ceramic, so aluminum is not going to even chew on them at all. So all the chewing I did on it, and it hasn't even touched the surface of this thing yet. So that's good. Thank you, Pool Guy 888. So I'm going to go ahead and get this rod off of this piston. This piston is the broken piston. I do got to get the rings off it. We got to put the rings on the other piston when it gets here. But we want to take, I was just using this one as a practice, and it looks like it's gonna do good. I'm not going to take the two pistons that are already in here out. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna tape up the two cylinders really good and mask off everything else, and grind it down like that in the block, so that none of the grindings gets down in the motor. So I guess we'll get this wrist pin out. There's several ways of taking the wrist pins out. You can heat the wrist pin. You can take the bolt method with a socket. I like that. You can take a press, like a ball joint press, and put it on there and squeeze it out. The thing is, if you're putting it in with the new one, you want to heat the rod up and get your orientation right. Get your orientation. I also got a stamp kit. So we're going to stamp all the pistons this time so we know exactly which ones they are. All right, so let's get on this thing. All right, I put a socket here, got 2 blocks of wood, and the weight is going to be on the wrist pin / the back side, but not squeezing on the piston. And we'll see if we can't get this thing out. Probably not. I don't think it's moving. We may have to put some heat to it. I hear the wood splitting. See if it moved any. Definitely put some pressure on the block of wood. Nope, didn't move at all. Maybe I'll try squeezing it inside the ball joint press somehow. All right, so this time I got an open end wrench. I got a bigger and longer socket. And it should be going through the vise without any problem. Now we're not going to be putting them on this way. We're just getting it off this way. That actually worked pretty good. And I don't think we harmed the piston. May not have did too good to that socket. And we got it. Oh yeah. We didn't hurt that piston at all. Except for it's already cracked. And it's not trying to go through. Oh, I got a little bit of aluminum right there. It's boogered. But we didn't hurt that piston one bit. That's the thing you got to worry about is the piston. All right. Now we're just waiting on the new piston to get here. And we'll put that thing on there. And I got it orientated. This is the front of the motor. I got a little black mark on it. So I'm going to leave that right somewhere. That's the new bearing too. I don't want that booger. Let me go put it over here. All right, so I got the number 2 piston done. And you can see the difference. So this is the piston turned over. This is the intake valve if it was on the other side. And you can see the difference in the size of the valve. So if I go right to where that piece is, that's the edge of the valve, and you can see we're past the edge of the valve. Whew. That's going to be a big difference in power from the stock cylinder head to the 202 valves. Now, all I got is 7 more to do. Looks good though. Yeah, it looks like professional. All right, I switched it over to my 1/2-inch Milwaukee drill, and it's a lot faster. I'm sitting there waiting for the air compressor to catch up. This piston turned out awesome. So no damage to the piston, and that sucker looks perfect. Number 3. All right, so on the two pistons that are already installed, we're going to tape up so no filings can get in the motor. And we got it marked out, and we got it taped off so nothing can get into the cylinder. Maybe a little bit right there, maybe just a little bit. Yeah, perfecto. Now we can grind that one. So when I'm grinding, I'm holding the drill at this angle right here, this flat spot. So I'm holding it at this flat spot, and I don't want to go down past that. So we're going to start up here at that angle and just slowly go down until we just touch this surface and get all these right up to that line right there. So how I do it is gently put my safety glasses on. It cuts pretty fast. Perfectamente. Yep. Now I got the one on this side. And all of them are done except for the one that we got to do, the brand new piston. All right, I got all the pistons flat cut, grinded, whatever you want to call it. And we did it with the Milwaukee drill and a 2-inch sanding disc thing. It's got the ceramic coated, and it's still like new. It's still like new. You see here how we got taped it all off so no filings can get in the motor. Looks good. A couple little scuffs where it bounced off, but it looks good. I don't think we'll have any interference. It's almost a quarter of an inch past it. So I still got, before we put the motor together, I still got to get the last piston. A delivery truck came up here a few minutes ago. So we'll do that in the morning. It's late and got to spend some time with the wife. Happy wife, happy life. That's what I'm talking about. So tomorrow we'll take care of the pan. And we'll get an early start. I want to can't put my hand in front of the camera lens. We'll get an early start on it out here, and we'll see if we can't get the motor back together, spin the motor over, and we still got to do all the valves, and we got the brand new trick flow push rods. They should be the right length. The other ones were almost the right length, but when I pulled them up about a quarter of an inch, is when it went right to the center, and that's what we want. We'll know more when we get the thing in and we start rotating it and we adjust the valves. I know people, they like to rotate the thing and put marks on it, but if it's like almost dead on top of the valve stem, when it's in the slack adjusted part of it, it's going to be right, because it's going to go down past it and then go down past the center and a little bit over to, and then back into the center again. And that's going to help spin the valve when it's going into the chamber. And that's what we want. So thank you, Pool Guy 888. Dude, good ears. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow. I also got my motorcycle started today. I got a guy coming tomorrow. He's going to look at my Sportster. I'm going to be selling it for like $3,800. It's got a lot of work. It's fast. It's got 12 5-to-1 compression pistons. It's got crane cams in it. Wesco pistons. Screaming Eagle heads. It's a Rice rocket killer. That's what I'm talking about. So whoever's getting it is going to get a really nice bike. So I went and cleaned out the carburetor again today on it. Got it running, and she's running good. So when he gets here tomorrow, he shouldn't have no problems. All right, so I'll see you tomorrow. All right, it's the next day, and we got to get this motor put back together. We got to get that oil pan fixed over there, and I'm still waiting on the piston to come back in. So, but I can't do that until I get the piston in. So while we're waiting, we're going to go ahead and get that pan fixed and probably test it on the motor to see if it hits. Thank you, Pool Guy 888. I want to give a shout out to all the kids that watch my channel. I got a lot of kids that watch my channel. It's true. And they all come and they sit in my barber chair and they tell me about uh, uh, all the stuff I'm doing, all my Mihal truck, the tractor, and the Pinto too. And it lifts me up to know that these kids are getting into cars and doing stuff. And so I want to thank you all. Uh, I I probably got at least 2 dozen kids that watch it and that come to my barbershop, and I just want to say, hey, thank you guys, thank you guys. I don't want to do a personal name shout out to the children, but you know who you are, and thank you guys so much. So let's get on the oil pan. I need to set up my sawhorses, put out uh, a board there so we can do some beating and a little bit of some 2x4 and some hammers. Hammers and 2x4s make good bashing equipment. All right, I got the pan with some blocks holding up to one side, and I want to make sure that this wasn't make a little pinhole in it, and it doesn't look like both number 7 and 3 connecting rod bolts were hitting the bump that's in the bottom of the pan right here. And so one was hitting here just barely, and the other one was hitting here fairly hard. So I'm going to take El ball peen hammer and start massaging it. What we'll do is we'll put it back on the pan, on the motor, once we get all the connecting rods back in. But I think we're doing some good. So originally, we cut this pan from here, and it went down towards this way, and we moved that thing up. So now we're just bellowing the bottom of the pan, and we had enough clearance. I had more than enough clearance. I didn't have to take it up as high as I did. And I thought I had extra room, but I guess I didn't. All right. Looks like it may have been rubbing back here too. This thing's vibrating all over the place. Why is this thing? Helps if I get it over. All right. So we definitely bellowed that out now. Had to slap some more paint on there. Put my straight edge on it. Ugh! All right. All right, so we really won't know until we get this thing back on the motor, get the pistons put back in. It's number 5 that we're waiting on. So we can go ahead and put the other pistons back in. So we'll do that. All right, number 2 going back home. Number 3. Number 7. Always use rubber hoses on your connecting rod bolts. Put your tang to tang. That's the little indention on the thingamajiggy. That's the scientific word for it. Torque them as you go. Two more pistons, and then we can start putting the. We could actually check the oil pan now. Well, let's go ahead and get this. Make sure there ain't no dirt on your junk. Now we're ready for number 4. No, 8. Earlier I said this was number 4, but it's actually number 8. Number 8's going home. Number 4. My rubber hoses. All right, I got the pan snugged up with 2 bolts. It did kind of distort it and pull it in a little bit, but I was able to take a pair of channel locks and pull it back out. We may, before I bolt it down, I may put a block of wood in there and push it back into submission into the right location. But she's close. Now we're going to see if it hits. Lord, don't let it hit. And this is without the pan gasket. We are free. Doing good. Why do I smell propane? I don't know. All right. So we know the pan's going to work. That's thank you. Thank you. Pool guy 888. That would have been bad. Would have knocked a hole in the bottom of my pan. It also scarred up one of the nut bolts on the connecting rods. I cleaned that up, and the other connecting rod, the bolt head got a scar on it, but we're good now. We'll take this back off because we still got to put the oil pan on. I mean, we'll take this back off now. We still got to put the oil pump on, but we're still waiting for the piston. All right, I got the timing chain back on. I didn't show you how to do that, but we got that back on. And now we're going to put the water pump housing on. We're going to put some RTV on it. Came with my gasket set. And the key to this stuff is not to put too much. And have a nice clean surface. Smear it on a little bit. Don't want no excess getting down and plugging up your oil pickup tube. Some of these covers have a dowel pin, and it's made for lining them up. On the ones that don't, you need to put your harmonic balancer on before you torque these up. Put a little dab of grease on the bolt. So the idea is to put your harmonic balancer on first before you torque them down. You don't have to torque the harmonic balancer down because it's hard to get to some of these bolts. You just want to put them on there, just put it up there to center the thingamajiggy. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. The rest of them go on with the water pump. Put a little bit of grease right here. Now I'm not going to put the harmonic balancer on yet. We're just going to put it up to center up the water pump housing. It's a crucial part. The reason why I'm not putting the harmonic balancer on right now is I want to clean this thing up. I should have left it over there in the parts washer. Don't want to put it on any more neck. I want to be able to get it off. I hope that piston gets here soon, or I'm going to have to make this another week. All right. Now I can take this off, tighten these two up. And that looks like crud. I should have bought a new one. But this is a budget build. All right, I got the front of the motor put together. My piston came in. They sent it down to the mailbox instead of sending it up here. I've been here waiting. It's probably been in the mailbox. Got the water pump housing on. Got the water pump on. We got the harmonic balancer on. Now it's time to put the piston down in the hole. So I went ahead, and the thing is still really hot. We took a torch to the connecting rod end, and then when it got really hot, we just slid the thing on there. I got the rings, everything's ready to go. It's ready to put down in the hole. I want to make sure that I get, because I also grinded the thing. So this is a brand new piston. It was supposed to look exactly like the other ones, but it don't. All right, got it lubed up. Make sure the rings are clocked. And I got to rotate the crankshaft. Now I got grease all over my hands. Crankshaft is all the way in the bottom position. And the new piston's home. The valve reliefs that were in them, none of them are the same. I'm not talking about the ones I did. I'm talking about the ones that they did. Man, the factory. Whew. All right. I got the oil pan back on. We got the new piston in. We got the oil pump in. Making progress, but it's getting late. My wife's home. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. Next week, we're definitely going to get the heads back on. We got nothing else holding us up from putting this motor together. We got the water pump on, harmonic balancer on. I got to make a pointer. I'll order a pointer. We'll get a pointer here by next week. I also got to get a few bolts. This motor didn't. Somebody had pulled the alternator off this motor out there, and the bracket and the two bolts that goes in it, I got to get those. I'll measure those up and get those. But we're coming along. I think we're going to go ahead and use those headers from Flycut. And I'll tell you why. Even though I know they're too wide, I think we're going to take the L plasma cutter and we're going to cut out whatever's in the way. We just cut it out. I just cut it out, beat it with submission with a sledgehammer, and get those headers on there. Unless I don't. Well, hopefully we will. The oil pan is on. Ah. Maybe I'll probably throw the motor mounts on there since I got it in this position. Man, these things are some greasy looking motor mounts. Throw these things on there. Then this part of the motor, I can even put the fuel pump on there. It's better to put the fuel pump on now than when it's in the car and you're trying to manipulate it. Here you just put it right in. It's coming together. Finally coming together. You know, I got some really good listeners. People who watch my channel. I really do. I like it when people interacts with the channel. You know, this is look at what I got done, and I mean I haven't started yet, so it still might blow up. But didn't even go to a machine shop. My wife came over here. She says, "Oh, we think she might have an ulcer." The guy came and looked at the motorcycle. He likes it. But he ain't even got his driver's license for the motorcycle yet. He ain't got his Class M license yet. So he wants to go take the test, pass the test. He says he wants to take the bike up there to take the test on. I told him it's best to use the bikes they got. Them little dinky bikes, easier to take the test on. Oh. All right. Here we go. She's looking good. These things look good. I'm happy. I'm happy with the results today. Oh, what a battle. You know, when you're putting stock parts in, everything just slides right back together. But when you're using aftermarket parts and stuff like that, sometimes you gotta make stuff fit. Like 302, well, the 302 was never designed to go in this here, and the oil pan had. So when you modify the oil pan, now the oil pan hits the crankshaft. That's okay. We got it. We got it. Maybe I should rotate it over one more time, Pastor Bill. Maybe that's what I ought to do. Smooth. I'm going to go ahead and get the number one cylinder up on top dead center. And the first thing I'm going to do when I come back out here next week is Easter. We'll think of something. All right, she's on top dead center right now. And then I'm going to I'm going to order it. I'm going to order the piece. Axle grease, all kinds of things on my hands. New water pump. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. It's coming together. Finally. Got to put a bag on this thing. Put a bag on this thing. Worked hard for the money. Worked hard for the money. Please like and subscribe. And next week, Easter weekend, that'll be my Easter special. Fixing things. We're going to put this motor together and put the headers on it and try to get them inside. Get this motor down inside where it needs to go. It needs to go home. God bless each and every one of you. Remember, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Man, this has been a battle, but look, the motor is done. Look at those valve pockets. Man, and oh, my subscribers, man, God bless you guys. Thank you, man. You're taking care of me. Oh, man. Oh, It's gonna be awesome. It's going to be awesome.